Are you the best leader you can possibly be? Now's a great time to be asking yourself that question, but before you answer, I want you to consider this. How are you currently showing up in the world?
All right, guys, we are halfway through this year's kickoff training. Andrea has done such a phenomenal job, and I'm super excited for all of the tips and techniques that we have at our disposal to try for next year. I love it, and I hope that you guys do as well. Don't forget, there is a survey coming up, and I would love for you guys to fill it out afterwards. But for now, let's go ahead and dive into this next training.
Your leadership style, or lack thereof, really does contribute to the boundaries that you've set for yourself. It contributes to the way you allow people to treat you, and it also contributes to the way you manage the expectations of those in your space. In this episode of the 12 Days of Reindeer Games, I'm going to be talking to you about what a leadership style is and why you should have one. I'm also going to give you a couple of examples of leadership styles. And then if you stick around until the end, you'll learn my secret weapon to help you determine what your leadership style is in the first place. Let's go ahead and get it started. I want to start off with a qualifier or a caveat, if you will. There are as many leadership styles as there are leaders. So the ideas that I'm going to share with you today are just a snippet of what you can actually create as your own leadership style. All right, so let me ask you, how would you describe your leadership style right now, like currently? Leave it in the comment section below. I want to know. Now that I've given you that little caveat, let's dive into why it's important for you to develop a leadership style in the first place. Having a specific leadership style is going to help you create a company culture, which in turn is going to help you onboard the right people in the first place. When you understand your leadership style, you're also able to manage the morale of your employees and get them to buy in to whatever changes you need to make whenever those changes are necessary. The key here is knowing which one of the leadership styles that I'm going to share with you today aligns with your current values, missions, and ideas that you have for your business or your team. Now that we understand why having a specific leadership style is important, let's dive into 4 common leadership styles, if you will. Again, there are a variety of leadership styles, as many as there are leaders, but these are the 4 that we're going to highlight today. The first one is an autocratic leadership style. Here is where you are looking at more of a strict, like almost royal type leadership, where there's one leader, he has rules, regulations, stipulations, things of that nature. There's not a lot of input by anyone else. They're making most of the major decisions. Next, you have a bureaucratic leadership style, where there is more of a hierarchy in the leadership, where everyone in the organization has a role and they play their role well, but you have one person who's primarily strategizing and disseminating information for those in the different roles to manage. Typically, there are processes involved here, and they're in place to sort of help those in each role do their jobs well. The next style of leadership is the coaching style. This is a style where you are approaching your leadership from understanding the people that you are leading, focusing on improving employees as individuals, not just for the company's sake. And here you focus on each person's individual strengths and weaknesses. If I had to vote for one, this would be the one that I voted for. The last type of leadership style that I want to talk about is the democratic leadership style. And this is where everyone has a voice and the leader is playing off of a team-oriented approach to their leadership. Okay, so we've got the reasons why we need to have a leadership style. We understand 4 common leadership styles. And now let's dive into my secret weapon for determining your personal leadership style. And that is creating a personal operating system. When you have a personal operating system, you're going to be operating from your personal framework. That is important. Next, the self-confidence that you have because you're operating within your personal framework is going to be key. And then lastly, You want to use all of that to develop your own standards of being a leader. Okay, so having a personal operating system is the magic bullet, the secret sauce, the secret weapon that's going to help you determine the leadership style that you want to use to be better and succeed in the coming year. The way you show up, set boundaries, manage expectations, and teach people how to treat you sets the framework, the groundwork for your leadership style. A lack of leadership style is actually a leadership style in and of itself. I just didn't talk about it because that's not where I want you to be in the new year. In this next video, we're taking a little bit deeper dive into those operating systems that I was sharing with you. I actually have two in addition to the personal operating system that I think you should look at. Watch it for the fundamentals of how you can in turn determine your own leadership style and show up as the dynamic leader next year. Remember, you can be a guest on my podcast, the CEO Mindset Podcast. I'm doing a drawing at the end of these reindeer games for 4 individuals to be a guest on my podcast, where you will have exposure to an audience that you wouldn't ordinarily have exposure to, and you get to talk about your brand and how awesome you are. We're talking about how you constantly evolve and be open to failing forward. If that is something that you are inclined to do in the new year, please make sure that you are answering the question of this video and that you're telling me what those crazy reindeer are doing down in the comment section below. We will add your name to the pot and do a drawing at the end of this series and determine the 4 winners of our guest spot on my podcast. All right, if you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, notified when new videos come out by hitting that notification bell, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Remember, if you are already subscribed, I am counting on you to comment below. Watch the videos when they come out, so hit that notification bell because the algorithm is saying that you guys are subscribed, but I need you to watch. And a lot of you guys are not subscribed, but you keep coming back. So go ahead and join the Boss Squad. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.